Parking brakes released.
27 Victor Foxtrot, contact Manchester 124.2 by.
So flick the start switch to the right, and engine starts. BAVirt to on from engine number 2. So unfortunately the frames do seem to suffer with, although like I mentioned, Dublin Airport is very well optimised there. If you include this Aerosoft Airbus, the frames do suffer a bit. I mean, if we look, we're getting about 12, 13 on average. But it's bearable. I mean, it's kind of worth it for this scenery. Could probably turn some of the settings down, but I'm not especially bothered. It's probably a combination of well, the two add-ons and also because I'm recording.
Engine 2 is stabilised.
In 1080p, so that doesn't help. Right, engine number 2's on, so let's get engine number 1 online.
Number 1.
Actually, well, talking about AI traffic, it does seem quite quiet today.
448, vacate right and evade.
Normally that's bustling with aircraft, but nothing today. Can't see anything taxiing. I think that's just a cargo aircraft over there. Actually no, I think that Norwegian is taxiing in. But yeah, otherwise it's pretty quiet. Yeah, that's Norwegian 737. All those things.
Engine 1 is stabilised.
Touchdown 40 right, vacate next right and evade from the Victor, parking stand 8.
You might have noticed this when we were watching that plane land at the introduction, but some of these lampposts don't seem very well optimised. Don't seem to be textured particularly well. It might be because of I'm using DirectX 10 and they're not compatible with DirectX 10, but or it could be something to do with the anti-aliasing. I still need to fix that for this computer. I can't seem to get the NVIDIA Inspector settings to work correctly with the shadows and things. So I'll have a little fiddle around and see if I can get it to work for the next video. So. Set the parking brake.
Parking brakes are set.
Talking of next videos, I think I should be getting out a few more videos over the next week or so. I'm finishing off a review for the Bowery scenery, which I promised I would do. And another request I want to get done is another BAVirtual series video from East Midlands to Amsterdam,
Start checklist.
which I've had on my list to do for quite a while now, so fingers crossed I can get that done.
Set.
APU bleed.
Set off.
APU master.
Set off.
Ground spoilers.
Set.
Okay, A320 started.
Check 0.
Taxi via Alpha Tango 1 Yankee to hold in position runway 28.
Set.
When on position, contact tower on 118.6.
Okay, now I actually need to do something, so let's do the flight controls. Full left,
Full left. Full right. Neutral. Full up. Full down. Neutral.
and
Rudder.
rudders.
Full left. Full right. Neutral.
Check. Flaps.
Ground control, 204
Flaps
is clear of the
2.
runway. Request taxi to parking.
Off.
204.
Status.
I am Bravo 4 Alpha
Check.
Lima India November Kilo 2 Alpha Tango 1 to gate Lima 400.
By
Signal.
Bravo, 4 Alpha Lima
Received.
India November Kilo 2 Alpha Tango 1 to gate Lima 400 204.
Ground control, Speedbird 823. Request taxi. Speedbird 823. Taxi via Alpha Tango 4 Foxtrot Delta Tree to hold in position runway 16. When on position, contact tower on 118.6. Via Alpha Tango 4 Foxtrot Delta Tree. Hold in position 16. Tower on 118.6. Speedbird 823.
So yeah, like I said, it looks like the AI traffic are using runway 28, whereas I'll be using 16, which is the runway I'm kind of going parallel to now. Although in the opposite direction, of course.
Ground control, Lufthansa 532.
Taxiing checklist.
Lufthansa 532. Taxi via Alpha Tango 4 Lima, India, November, Kilo 1 to hold in position runway 28. When on position, contact tower on 118.6. To hold in position runway 28 via Alpha Tango 4 Lima, India, November, Kilo 1 tower on 118.6. Lufthansa 532.
Pedal
check.
pressed. Checked 0.
Check. Auto brakes.
Max.
Takeoff data.
Reviewed.
FCU.
Checked.
Flight instruments.
Checked.
Check. TO config.
Set.
Checklist complete.
Tombstone 40 Mike, vacate next right, into the apron of Victor, parking stand 8.
Yeah, those frames are struggling now. Actually, let's get onto the adjacent taxiway, as there's no traffic coming our way.
Starts approved, temperatures at 9, the QNH is 1009, runway 27.
Virgin Nigeria. Don't think I've ever heard of that. Apparently they fly here. I don't know if they're discontinued now, because I mean the schedules for this AI add-on are quite old, so it could be an out-of-date aircraft, but I could be mistaken. I'll have to have a little look into it. So yes, this is the discontinued run or abandoned runway. Just here.
Next right, into the apron of Victor.
There's a short additional kind of abandoned runway at the end of it, but that's kind of been incorporated into a taxiway. But as this is the shorter runway, we'll use the full length, so we'll taxi up D3, Delta 3, and go right to the end of the runway.
Virgin 7, overtake the 757, and when the British Airways 747 departs, line up 27 right.
Overtake the 757, when the British Airways 747 departs, to line up 27 right, please.
Approaching. 2-816, Virgin 747 to overtake you, and here departs, line up 27 right.
Alright, let's
Tower,
see
Speedbird
if we can
823. On
get onto the runway.
Runway 16.
British Airways 823. Hold your position. I call you back.
Holding our position. Speedbird 823.
British Airways 823. Line up runway 16.
Lining up runway 16. Speedbird 823.
Flight attendants, seats for takeoff.
Very echoey.
Before
Yeah, I think it was just the
takeoff
AI
checklist.
traffic right at the end of the runway which we're messing around.
Brake temperature.
Checked.
With the
Brake fans.
ATC then.
Off.
Engine mode selector.
Checked normal.
TCAS.
TARA, tilt above.
Exterior lights.
984 Golf after United 747 departs, line up
Set
27
on.
right.
Sliding tables.
94 Golf after the
Stowed.
United 74, fly back.
Checklist complete.
On runway 16.
British Airways 823. Wind 240 at 14. Fly runway heading. When airborne contact departure on 130.905. Runway 16. Clear cleared for takeoff. Good flight.
Runway heading, departure frequency 130.905. Runway 16, cleared for takeoff. Speedbird 823.
Alright, let's get going.
Leaving 3 flights to the right when the second British Airways
Let's get thrust and
757
synchronous. So,
departs,
let's just flex.
Take off. Man, flex, SRS and runway.
Off the runway.
including one on the runway.
Power set.
Very brave.
100 knots.
Checked.
Speed 1. Rotate. Positive climb.
Gear up.
Gear up.
Navigation.
Check.
Turkish 19 clearance. I'm moving to the Western City Airport now, please.
Got to about 1,000 feet.
And
Slide on the autopilot.
Gears.
Departure control,
lights
Speed should just settle in a minute.
With you, 2,000 for 4,000.
Speed AW823, cleared via EX Echo 1 Mike, climb to flight level 110.
Via EX Echo 1 Mike, climbing to flight level 110. Speedbird 823.
There we go. And then bring the throttle
Flaps,
down
climb
to
thrust.
climb thrust.
Speed check.
Yeah, I think that speed warning was just because we're quite heavy, so because I was just climbing a little bit too steep then. The engines were both struggling to keep up, but we're okay now.
10 radar helicopter Golf.
Yeah, weather's we're good. We're on our way.
Good morning. Continue along the river. Report approaching London Bridge. It'll be just a short
southerly departure.
Report approaching London Bridge.
flaps 0.
Speed check.
And heading
flaps
straight
0.
across the Irish
The
Sea.
after takeoff checklist.
Engine mode selector.
Check normal.
Spoilers.
Disarmed.
Flaps.
Check retracted.
Landing gear.
Gear up. Lights off.
Exterior lights.
Slowed 160.
Going down to
Set
160.
off.
Approach forward.
Both on.
Anti-ice.
Off.
TCAS.
Checked.
Altimeter.
1007.
1007. Checked. Checklist complete.
Confirm the echo. Traffic just leaving the big and overhead at 2,200 feet in AA5.
Alright, so we're nice and settled in the climb. I'll do my usual outside shots and see you in the cruise. Alright, so we're now settled into the cruise, and as promised at the start of this episode, I explained that I'll tell you a little bit about the transition from, well, Windows 7 in my case to Windows 10. I'm sure a lot of you will be transitioning from Windows 8, in which case I doubt there'll be as much change. But the things that I found, well, first of all, the whole installation of Windows 10 was absolutely fine, didn't have any problems there. And when I started up FSX, it worked pretty good. The only things I needed to do was reactivate some of my products, in particular the EZDOK products, which include kind of GSX and Quality Wings, the Quality Wing 757. But otherwise, once I'd done all that, I booted it up and it was working absolutely fine. Performance seemed as good as Windows 7. I mean, technically, supposedly it uses up less RAM, so you'd expect it to be a little bit better than Windows 7, but I haven't noticed anything considerable yet. Well, the one problem I did find was EZDOK. Now, those of you who used Windows 8 before you transitioned to Windows 10, you probably already had this problem, you've probably already fixed it. But those of you who are transitioning from Windows 7, such as myself, may have noticed that the middle mouse button for EZDOK didn't work. I kind of scoured the internet and there was various kind of proposed fixes, such as changing the administrative rights for EZDOK, running it as administrator, for Windows 7. None of these things fixed it. But I stumbled across a post in a thread on AvSim, which was talking about this particular problem, and there's a rather helpful post from a person called Aviation HD, and he explained how he managed to fix it, and this particular fix worked for me. So the link to that fix is in the description below, but in summary, basically what you need to do is completely uninstall EZDOK using the Revo uninstaller, which is a freeware program that you can download. But what it does basically is it allows you to remove, as well as the program files, some of the registry entries as well. So it basically completely wipes the program from your computer. Once you've done that, you basically need to follow Aviation HD's instructions, which include reinstalling EZDOK, but doing it in a particular way, basically installing it all the way up until the latest patch, which is actually a beta edition. But I did all those instructions and it worked absolutely fine for me. So one thing that it did muck up was my aircraft settings. Although I backed them up and put them back into the database folder, unfortunately it shifted. So I'm guessing the coordinates for the config file was slightly different for whatever reason. So I have had to reposition the camera on certain aircraft. Yep, pretty seamless otherwise, and very happy that I've upgraded because it hasn't really caused any problems, and it's a great change in operating system. Otherwise, the descent preparation checklist has popped up, so let's get ready for that. For some reason, this could be again problems with EZDOK. The smooth transitions between the camera modes has disappeared. I don't know whether I've just accidentally clicked on something or whether again that's a problem with Windows 10. But we'll see next time I fly whether that's resolved. It might just be a temporary thing. But anyway, so what we need to do is go onto the perf page and go onto the approach. So, transition altitude for London Heathrow is 6,000. Not 60,000. Get the weather up. So it's QNH is 1014.
Mike Charlie Tango.
Mike Charlie Tango, Manchester, Virgin.
9 Bravo, continue climb at 370.
Temperature's 19. Winds are 14 knots up to 10. Assuming that we are landing on 27 right, a category 2 landing with an aircraft category of C would be a radio altitude of 154. So we'll put that in and see if it changes. We might get a different runway. We use config 3. We don't need full config because it's obviously very long runways at Heathrow. Otherwise, that looks good, and we'll just wait and see if the arrival is the same. Otherwise, I'll skip ahead and we'll see what happens. Right, so we'll just wait for the top of descent, which is this little kind of white arrow, and then we'll hit this button and I'll initiate our descent. It's not far now. But it's been a pretty short flight. I mean, we were only on the cruise for about, well, probably less than 5 minutes. It's 23 minutes in total our flight time so far, and then we're going straight down. So yeah, it's pretty much a straight up, straight down jobby. Just waiting to get right on that top of descent, and then we'll head down. So we'll click it now.
Initiating descent.
And we're pretty much bang on then because the pink indicators are already just flown past us. And then we just watch our speed as we go down. But otherwise, I won't bore you with the descent, and I'll catch you when things start getting a bit more interesting. Well, actually, I'll let you listen to the approach clearance, because we might have to do a few changes depending on what we get cleared to.
Approach control, Control, Speedbird 823. With you on flight level 290.
British Airways 823, continue ENN4 Alpha Arrival. Cleared via vector LLN48. Expect ILS approach, runway 27, right QNH 1014.
Cleared via BNN4 Alpha, cleared via vectors, runway 27, right, ILS approach, runway 27, right, Speedbird 823.
British Airways 823, descend to flight level 230.
Descend into flight level 230, Speedbird 823.
Because of that delay, he levelled off, not to worry, but let's just double check that arrival. So it's 27 right.
Quebec, 475, information X-ray, flying up towards the big end, descending flight level 100.
Don't think that via that he gave me is on there. No. I'll just make sure that it's actually listed. It might just be giving us vectors.
British Airways
See what happens.
823, descend to flight level 180.
Descend into flight level 180, Speedbird 823.
There we go, down to 180. And as you can see, we've hit the top of the speed kind of range, so we'll just hit some, get some drag down.
Easy 402 with a good rate of descent, descend, flight level 80. Good rate of descent,
See if that's helping.
Easy 402.
Quite. We've gone to full. Otherwise, I won't bore you with the rest of the descent, and I'll catch you when things start getting more interesting.